So, there we have it, everyone. Boris Johnson is our new Prime Minister. Since yesterday, we had a lot of reaction and, well, technically overreaction from the left on this news, including people like obviously the Labour Party and the SNP. One example is this line from the SNP that said, "This is going to be the worst government since Thatcher." I mean, ooh, scary. The main problem with this whole argument is that they are saying that this is now some sort of hard, crazy government in charge of the country without actually knowing what that means. So let's see what they mean by hard and right. As I tweeted yesterday, all great officers of state, which includes obviously Prime Minister, Chancellor, Home Secretary and Foreign Secretary, are now held by people like Boris Johnson, Sajid Javid Priti and Dominic Raab, who are libertarians, Ayn Rand admirers and free market Thatcherites. So if by right you mean pro-freedom and economically free marketeers, then yes, it is right. And actually, Margaret Thatcher was asked this question when she was running for Prime Minister decades ago, and she said this.
Good intentions aren't enough. You do need hard cash. But you say, am I right-wing? And I ask you what it is. Because these days, if you want lower tax, it's called right-wing. If you support the police, it's called right-wing. If you say you must uphold the rule of law, it's called right-wing. If you say that you want to sell council houses and you want increased owner occupation, it's called right-wing. I want all of those things. If you say that you want to uphold standards in education and that children should be effectively taught and not just wait until they learn, then it's called right-wing. In those senses, yes. If you call that right-wing, I am right-wing, but I'm not as right-wing as 75% of the people of Britain.
So there we have it. Apparently it is right-wing. But going back to the whole argument and the left and their meltdown over this news of Boris becoming the new Prime Minister, I always say one of the best tests and best ways to see how good, right and sound a government or a movement is by seeing the left's reaction to it. The angrier the left is, that means the more right you are. And on that note, obviously yesterday I went outside Downing Street number 10 to see the reaction, and yes, all the crazies were out. Now, one problem I found was that this was a coalition of various groups that, generally speaking, most of them did have a common ground, but at times they actually opposed each other, which was quite interesting. So let's actually look into see who actually was out yesterday. Well, firstly, we had the obvious group, the pro-communist and Jeremy Corbyn campaigners being out protesting against the new Prime Minister. Yeah, so these are the people who apparently they say they're progressive and they want to make change, but in reality they actually want to take us back in time. They want to impose backwards policies, outdated policies that have been tried in various countries from Russia, China to Cuba and everywhere, and now Venezuela. None of this has worked, and somehow these people are still obsessed with it. And secondly, you can guess, Remainers. Remainers are out quite loudly with their weird music and their weird chants, campaigning against any sort of Brexit, whether it is with a deal or no deal. So basically, these are the people who don't necessarily even care about trade or any of that stuff. For them, any kind of globalist agenda to have not just a United States of Europe, but some sort of United States of the world, which again is a good idea, but it's never going to work. These people are campaigning against freedom and democracy. And the third group was quite interesting. Obviously, we had the Socialists, we had the Remainers, and now there was a group of hippies who were just like standing around dancing. I'm guessing they thought this was some sort of music festival. Yeah, so they were quite fun. And so the fourth group, now we have our beloved climate change protesters. These people who decided to attack Boris Johnson's car as he was driving to the palace to meet Her Majesty, and this happened.
It's at Knightsbridge. Well, I think we're seeing quite a stop here just outside. There seems to be a drama with one of the motorcycles in the distance.
Yeah, it looks like there could be some kind of human chain we think. People are trying to stop this arrival, and the police are obviously intervening. Rhiannon Mills is here. You've got the statement from the palace, haven't you, Rhiannon?
So we've
Give
had
it
this
to
through
us
the
while we
last
watch
few
these
moments.
images.
In which the palace have said the Right Honourable Theresa May MP had an audience of the Queen this afternoon.
Now, these silly kids don't understand that this has been the most pro-environment government that we've had in a long time or ever. And but it's not enough. And as I've always said with these people, they don't actually even care about the environment. It's just like any other cause that they use as a platform. They use these to create their main agenda, to have a centralized system for the whole world, a globally centralized system, so that they could run our lives. So these were mainly the general groups that we had campaigning. And we had a couple of people, a very, very small group, randomly on the streets campaigning for Scotland for some reason. Yeah, so we had a few people out across the country somehow thinking this was the day to campaign for a second Scottish referendum. I don't know who told them this was the day, but yeah. This is why it's always best to have a centralized mailing list so you know when to go where. But jokes aside, what's been really interesting about this whole day and the whole situation is that these people have no idea what they're against. As things stand, again, we're optimistic, we're quite positive and happy about the new cabinet, but we have to obviously see the policies and the actions and judge them like that. So hopefully Boris and the whole team could deliver for the country. But as things stand, the Conservative Party finally is now the anti-establishment party of government. So these people who are against establishment, they should actually be in favour of Boris. Whether it's the Brexit agenda or the pro-freedom economic policies that will help everyone in the country, I thought that's what they want. I thought they want people to be happy and to be well off. But apparently not. But yeah, we are where we are now. So make sure you share this video and spread the word so everyone can see this. I've been told by a few people in the comment section to promote my Twitter handle. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'll put the link somewhere down here. Make sure you follow me. And as always, like, share this video, subscribe, and don't forget to click on the notification bell next to it. I'll see you tomorrow with a new video.